All right. In this video, I'm going to share with you um, an incident that took place with one of my YouTube subscribers uh, with regards to a female, Indian female. He's an Indian guy. She's an Indian female, where she accused him of being like an indecent, like sexual predator, of being desperate and all that. And before you know it, it seems that. Uh, the public was involved. They were going to hammer him, and then the police was called, and it became a very embarrassing incident, which resulted in him getting called to the police station, and then obviously his parents and all that. And he was very upset about the whole thing, and he shared it with me. I'll share with you what happened, and I'll also give you a personal example to relate to you and tell you how I went through such a situation and what happened. Okay, so this is what the summary of the video is all about. So, watch the video if you feel this might add some value. Okay, so let's start. Uh, I got this message from a young man. He's in his 30s, single. So what happened is single in the sense he's not married. He has a girlfriend, but he is kind of like not married. You have a girlfriend, but you can still have a boys' night out and look at other girls and all that. So what happened? He decided, I'll not take you out today. Today's boys' night out. So on a weekend, all the guys they came together apparently, and they decided they would go to a nightclub. One of the obviously don't want to reveal personal private details. So there was this nightclub which was hip and happening, and if either you can, girls are for like they're given leeway to enter if you're attractive. Couples are encouraged, but if you're a single guy, obviously you'll have to pay something, or you'll have to be a spender or a patron. Okay, so in this particular club, girls more, couples second, yes. But if you are a stag, a single guy, you have to either be a spender, or you have to be a patron, or you have to pay to enter, so they know that you're not a freeloader. Okay. So these boys, came together. Obviously, they had to pay to enter, and they paid. They're not very poor or anything, but they wanted to have a good time. Now, why does a guy go to a nightclub? He goes to a nightclub to, the music, the ambience, the lighting, the feel, and yes, the girls. Let's be honest, the girls, the enjoyment. You definitely go there to see some hot babes and all that. And he's not married. He can definitely look at other girls. And also the question is, why do girls come there? The girls come there to feel good, to, like they say, let your hair down day, and to enjoy a little bit of attention, to enjoy the dance, to enjoy the music, to enjoy the ambience. And in some cases, they don't mind guys looking at them, appreciating them. Fine. Okay. So what happened is this guy with his friends was near the bar, and they were ordering their drinks. They ordered. So obviously, no problem. You can stand near the bar. But they were not big spenders where they're given a VIP table. Okay. So obviously, you have to stand. So the girls, on the other hand, they had their own, this group of girls, particular group. They were all, by the way, forgot to tell you. So there was this group of guys who were standing there looking, bird watching there. And suddenly this group of girls come in, and they all are single. They don't seem to have a guy with them. And they all are dressed up very, some are showing their woo-hoo, some are showing their poo-poo, they're showing their booties, they're showing their, I exercise, look at my sexy belly, pierced belly button, and some had a tattoo here, and some showed their tonton, and some showed their tuk, some had nothing at the back, just in front to show, hey, see, I'm not wearing a brade, no brade. And some made sure that it was so tight that you could see the complete, you could draw an anatomy, this thing, even camel toe, you know what I'm talking about. So very tight. Okay. So obviously you're wearing that for someone to stare, isn't it? You're not wearing that to be spiritual with God, or you're not wearing that to say, don't look. If you don't want anyone to look, wear a abaya or a niqab, a black full thing, cover, loose. But when you're not wearing loose, your very tight outfit or little outfit means your character is loose. You know. Okay, so until now, I'm sure you agree with me. So even the guys, if a guy opens his shirt out till you show pumped chest and carpet of hair, pubic hair, any hair, and he's wearing a big gold chain, and the shirt is 2 sizes too tight. It's like his muscles will burst out of his shirt like Hulk, and he has gelled hair and perfect beard. Obviously, you're also trying to show I'm a sexy male, and not a gigolo, but obviously depending on the taste, female or male. Okay. So the guys were this side, girls were this side. Everyone's happy. And then obviously the guys notice the girls also, okay, the guys are watching. So all the boys, all of a sudden, from looking all around, the group of boys who were there, young men, they suddenly focus their attention to look at the girls only. They're like, hi baby. So somewhere like, ooh, yeah, baby. So giving the stares and the signals. And the girls are like, how typical girls. So it's not that they were like not minding it. They were also, how girls, ha 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 ha, how girls go like that. Like, ha 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 ha. Okay, so they were doing their little girly thing. And they were looking at each other, kind of giving stares. So the boys also tried to, initiate a little bit body language by, smiling at them, like kind of winking. So this went on where the guys were staring. And then finally, the girls were also staring and they were like, what? So the guys are like, like what? Like, they thought it was a friendly banter. When suddenly one of the females, she was short, kind of this thing, but it looked like she was like the group leader or something. So she walks up to this guy who sends you in the message. She walks up to this guy and says, what the fuck is your problem? And this came as a shock because him and the group were under the impression that the girls were kind of enjoying the stare or enjoying the body language or the thing. So he said, what the fuck? Like, what do you mean, what the fuck is the problem? Saying, why you guys are staring at us and acting like desperate? Like, so, obviously music is loud, so you have to talk into each other's ears. So he was like, we are, standing here, we are looking, you guys are also looking. So we're just, enjoying looking at you. She's saying, would you stop staring at us and would you stop behaving like, she called him some name which he apparently doesn't remember, but he told me that it didn't sound very nice, like you're like a desperate something. So he said, listen, if he was also not, at fault, so he didn't have to take shit. He said, listen, if you got a problem, you look somewhere else. We are not only looking at you, we were just appreciating you guys standing there and we're just looking around, we're not staring. So if you feel that way, you can move on. So they're like, why? Then that is where it became like, why the fuck should we move on? Why don't you fuck off from here? And he was like, why are you giving us bad words and why are you talking to us? She said, you better behave yourself. It started to escalate. And then from her, then a friend came and another friend came and now 2-3 guys. Then they tried to mediate. Okay, sorry. Saying, no, what the fuck you mean by this and that? And they went on. And before you know it, one of the girls went to the club, it seems manager, and complained that these guys are misbehaving. Obviously, the manager came with the security guys. And they're like, what's the problem? No, these guys are misbehaving with us. So he asked, like, what's going on? And he said, no, we are just this thing. They came up to us and bah. They tried to resolve, but they kept shouting. So finally, the club manager told the boys, the guys, say, listen, let's avoid the drama. You just go to a different spot, which they didn't want to. Okay, but they finally said, okay. They moved on to another spot and they were standing there again doing their thing. Now, obviously, they stayed till late, till the time it's, club is supposed to finish. And yes, by the time everyone was a little high because you drink too much, and they were dancing and they were drinking and they were. So when they came out, they were kind of slightly high. And one by one, couples and everyone were coming out, and these girls also came out. So that was where one of the guys, oh, look at those bitches, yeah, fuck them, man. So one of them happened to hear, bitches and, fuck them. They happened to hear. They're like, and that is where shit all hell broke loose. And this motherfucker, what did you say? And that is alcohol plus female who's not in control, plus who thinks she's God's gift to mankind. She started shouting and called him, you bastard, you this and that. And these guys also were, hi, hey, fuck off, you bitch. And full-fledged shouting match. And before you know it, one of the females actually raised her hand and the guy, and the guy pushed. And before you know it, uh, it was like a pushing shoving match, but obviously they being girls and guys being guys, the other guys jumped on these guys and thought, oh, you're touching females. And you know how it is in India, they don't care if the girl is wrong or the girl is right. If the girl is a girl and the girl looks hot, and they all jumped on them. And before you know it, these boys were involved in a fight with other people who they did not know, and they tried to explain, talk sense, nothing. And before you know it, it became the security came out, separated all of them, and then yes, they called the police. Okay, and the police, it seems, were very active in those areas. Police came, and the girls filed a false report stating that these guys were sexually misbehaving with them. Okay, sexually misbehaving, staring, making them uncomfortable, calling them sexual predators. Now, another problem is they also were high on alcohol. So this became kind of an embarrassment, and I don't want to move into the details of what happened, but you could definitely, it was not a very good scene. They threatened to take it to court, but I guess common sense prevailed, and they did not. But now here's the problem. Because of the false allegation, that, and by the way, I'm going with his narrative. Okay, he wouldn't have to get in touch with me if he really wasn't, innocent. If he was guilty, I don't think he would share this with me. He was like, the cops also. He said they didn't ill treat us, but they believe the girls more than they believe the guys. They believe the guys were by default bad. Okay, and because of all this, he's saying the news spread around, and now these guys have a very bad reputation. Okay, and in fact, his girlfriend also was very upset. Um, he had to pacify her. Her parents were very upset. The news even spread to his workplace, and he said it has become very uncomfortable. For no fault of my own, we are just being called as, like, treated like sexual predators. While these girls, nothing bad happened to them. Okay? That's as far as he feels or he believes. And I don't think these girls would be crucified for it. They'd be like, yeah, you know how guys behave, and, we just go out for a good time. These guys behave like they never see females. Now, I'm not saying that all men are innocent. Neither am I saying that I endorse a guy who behaves indecently or crosses a certain line. But here's my thought process. If a girl is busy showing her assets, or boobies or this, why are you doing that? You're doing that because you want people to see, hey, look, these things which are supposed to be private, you can look at them. See, if you're the very fact that you're showing it, that you're, prim or priming it, the very fact that you show a belly button on your this thing and you show the belly button, you show a sexy figure, you wear tight clothes, is because you want people to look. I mean, if you didn't want people to look, you would completely cover it. Now, You might say that, oh, so you want us to dance to the tunes of men? It's like a guy wearing a trouser where it's so tight there, you can see the outline of his little, small little banana and, his ball sack. So, or a guy, there's, some of these gay uh, content creators, they show their ass when they're walking and it's tight and, they're purposely focusing the camera there. So is that okay? Or is that a guy, if for example, a guy is wearing a see-through and you think he is not trying to flaunt when a guy does bodybuilding or shows his muscles or the tattoo? You think he's doing it because he doesn't want you to see? No, they want you to see. Let's stop acting like idiots. And that also, a nightclub is not a place for decent or very holy-poly people. Okay? So you can't start blaming others for staring at something that you show. Like I told you, my personal example where a girl called me a sexual predator was when I was in Dubai. There was this club which was like, it used to play. I don't know if this club is still there. It was next to Kiva Lodge near Al Nasser Cinema, Al Nasser Ice Rink, next to Kiva Lodge. I can't get the name here. It was a nightclub where I used to hang out with some of the guys. They used to take me with them. I used to actually go there to drink Red Bull because I don't drink alcohol. And I used to read a book near the bar, this thing. I don't know. You can say one of the strange habits that I had. I would sit and read a book and, I didn't give a damn. And people would find it very strange. This guy muscled with, I used to take steroids, so I had big muscles. And I would always go after pumping in the gym and tattooed and all that, reading a book. People would be like, what the fuck is going on? But I was in my own world. I didn't like to dance. I didn't like to do anything. So I'm there doing my own shit. When suddenly this, I think she was a Filipina. She came there and I'll tell you, I've never seen a female with such big boobies, like jugs, as whatever you call them. And she was wearing white, and it was really, I don't know what. She put some kind of bra, something. It really was popping out. It was like just scarcely, like a little bit lower, and you could see her nipples. It was just like rounded melons. Like it was so hard. And obviously, she worked very hard to show that. And she had a good body. And I was standing there reading my book, and she's just like hardly a arm's length away. She comes there. It's like she dumped both those watermelons on the table, like dump. And it was not like horribly big, like some of the surgeries that you see where it's bigger than the human being. But it was big enough. Like you can't even hold, like you have to literally hold both with one hand. Okay. So she ordered her drink or whatever. And I was reading my book, and then when I saw her, like, I actually went like, huh. Because it's not every day that you see something like that. And those were big. Those were really big. And she was standing there giving me the look like as if she doesn't know, like females are like, I don't know. What are you looking at? So I was like, as soon as I saw, I just told her, those are a very beautiful pair of breasts. I actually straight away told her right on the face. I said, beautiful pair of breasts. And I said, you got lovely boobies. So, I was not drunk. She was like, excuse me? She goes, I said, well, you're flaunting your assets that you have. And I just complimented you that you have a very beautiful pair of breasts for a very beautiful body. She was like, I don't know, maybe she thought nobody would say it, or I don't know, maybe she never in her life imagined someone would say it. She's like, behave yourself. I said, my dear, if you're showing it, you can expect people to notice it. I'm just very respectfully complimenting you. She said, I'm sorry, but this is not right. Okay, you're not supposed to talk like that. I was like, okay, go and complain. I didn't do anything, because there were cameras and the bartender was there. And So she got pissed off. She went to uh, the bar manager. He was a guy from Mumbai. I think that time they used to call it Bombay. Yeah. So she went and got him. So he knew me. He knew me because I was a regular. He came there and she told him, this guy is behaving like this. At first, he was wondering who. But then when she pointed, I was just standing there reading my book. And then he comes to me and is like, Kya yaar? He came to me, Kya yaar? Kyun problem kar rahe ho? I said, listen, this is what happened. And so he was speaking to me first. He's saying, अरे यार क्या ये और like he was telling me this female is complaining. अच्छा सुन, he told me nicely, कुछ मत कर. I don't want to, because obviously he would have to throw people out who misbehave, but he knew that I didn't misbehave because I'm not drunk. I didn't drink any alcohol and he knows me regularly. So he's like, okay, chal, मैं sort out करूंगा. So he went back to her, like he said he'll sort it out. He gave her a complimentary drink just to cool her off. And that's it. He said, Madam, he will not bother you again. He will do his own thing. You do your own thing. Okay. He went away. So I realized she is not comfortable. So I just gave her a slight turn, like before my boy. Like if she was standing there, I was facing her like this, reading the book. Now I turned a little bit this way so I don't see her. Still reading my book. You'll not believe. Seriously, you'll not believe this. But after a few minutes, maybe 15, 20 or whatever, she actually comes near me and she says, so what are you reading? And, I turn around and she's like, so what are you reading? And I was like, didn't you just complain about me? I gave her a look and I was like, now you're talking to me? She's saying, yeah, I'm just curious, what are you reading? So I told her I'm reading a book, and I think it was a business book or something. So I told her, she said, why the fuck are you reading a book in a nightclub? I said, I like to read. And she started to talk to me. And then, the way she was talking as if nothing happened. And then immediately I said, okay, wait. Before we continue, like, we had to come a little closer because of the music. I said, didn't you just complain about me? Didn't you just complain about me that I was, misbehaving with you? She's saying, yeah, because I didn't know you and you're staring at my breast. And I said, it has not even been a few hours. It has hardly been a few minutes. And now you're talking to me. She said, yeah, because I just realized that you're not a bad guy. So I was like, okay. So now it's okay to talk to me? So she said, yeah, because you don't seem to be a bad guy. So I was like, all right, okay. And she says, see, you can't blame me. You have tattoos and you look like one of those, crazy guys, So I gave her the benefit of the doubt. I didn't say anything. And you'll not believe, whether you believe it or not. Later on, she was okay with me dropping her. And before dropping, we had a little bit of happy in the car. Not sex or anything, just a little bit of whatever. Don't want you to start getting ideas. And we said bye. Now, why am I sharing this? It's not to brag about the fact that, see, in the end, I got the female. No, it's not to brag about that. And please, I'm not encouraging you, when you see a female with good titties, go and tell her. Use your common sense to know where you are. Okay? In my case, even though she made a complaint, but the club manager knew me, he didn't do anything. I was not like a spender that he had to be nice to me, but he knew that I was not a big spender, but he knew I was a nice guy. But what I'm trying to tell you is, you see how females can put you in trouble depending on their mood and suddenly be nice to you if they want. And if this female was as decent as she claimed to be, well, she wouldn't have agreed to come with me in the car. She wouldn't have agreed to all that little bit, ding dong that we had. And most importantly, she wouldn't be showing her stuff. So all I am trying to do with this video is to caution you men. See, listen, one is females tend to have a very weird sense of standard. Like, uh, I'm not talking of those females who dress up decent and a guy forces themselves on the girl. Like, for example, this girl in India, no, this girl, I think Korean or Japanese vlogger, was having a YouTube video live, and this Indian guy, North Indian, he suddenly takes out his family jewels and shows her his appendage, and she actually took a video of that and she uploaded and say, see how he's behaving. So I'm not talking of such perverts. Neither am I talking of or I'm endorsing behavior like a girl is walking and these guys suddenly come and hold and just take a photo and misbehave. No. I'm talking about those females who make it a point to show you bits and pieces of their body through their clothing or what they wear and behave in a manner that is very inviting for, hey, come, you can make out what I'm saying. So when a female tries to be promiscuous and give you signals that, look at my body, I'm flaunting it, okay, be careful how she can, swing, whether the pendulum swings this way or that way, because she can tempt you, she can invite you, you will take the bait, and once you come close, at any point of time, she can flip the switch and say, oh, you are forcing me, or you, I didn't give you my consent, or I didn't give you my approval, how dare you? And then she can be, oh, you're a pervert, you misbehaved. So be very, very careful, man. Be very careful. Like this guy's incident. I mean, the girls were all showing there, they were giving the signals, and then they suddenly changed the narrative and the guy got fucked. Okay. And yes, if you do get in such situations, just use a cool, calm, composed, mature approach to know how to get out. And please keep yourself in the safe zone whereby you have someone who is there as a witness. But if all of you are going to drink alcohol and all of you are going to get drunk, just remember all of you will get into trouble. Okay. And it's very important that you figure out a mature way to use your common sense to figure out how you can have proof that the female, she agreed to being with you, she agreed to giving you consent to go ahead. Because remember, there are incidents that have happened not only in India but also US where the girl invited the guy for a threesome, 2-3 guys, and then they were, black guys, black, African American, whatever you call it, and she was white, and she falsely accused them of rape, and they got suspended from college. They were completely ostracized by society, only for the truth to come out 5 years later, where she cried and said, forgive me. But by the time this guy's life was destroyed. In India also, we have so many females who, when they get angry, road rage or something, they suddenly start saying, oh, he tried to rape me, or he tried to sexually assault me, or they've been innocent men. So just be careful, man. And today's laws in India, I don't think support men very much. So I just wanted to share this incident and ask you, please be aware, please be very careful, because the last thing you need is someone taking your photograph or your video and sharing it online and putting a claim where you can't prove yourself. And once that happens, then I think the price to pay will be on your shoulders. And even though you're innocent, even though you're a good guy, your life will more or less be fucked. Okay? This is what I wanted to share with you. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you agree, disagree? Love to hear from you. You guys take care. It's me signing off. Sure.